Hi. See, I don't know if I like this lipstick. It's really messy, you know? What's the thing? I don't not into messy lipstick, you know? And that's one of the things. That's this one. This smooth whip. Smooth whip. Um I like lipstick that like see? It's not really giving me what I want. Like it's a nice color. I like the color. Good morning. We're talking about lipstick before we're talking about lipstick this morning. But this one I find like you touch something, it just goes everywhere. It's just, yeah. I don't know. It's this one. I don't know if anybody else has used it. It's, yeah. I got it because I liked the color. I liked how it went on. Like after I bought, like I don't try on lipstick in places because it's you just don't unless you try it on you. But yeah. Anyways, it looks good on camera and but then I find I end up getting, I probably touch my lips or touch, you touch your face more than what you actually think you touch your face, right? Um and I do. I have like even this one. This is a Revlon one for lipstick. It's a pretty similar color, you know. I mean, I love pinks and reds and coral colored lipstick. I don't like black lipstick. I think black when a woman wears black lipstick, I don't know. They're trying to make some kind of statement. It's cool, but I'm not like black lipstick on somebody just like unless it's Halloween. It just looks sort of like, whoa, and you gotta have the sort of the outfit, but one of the girls I've seen girls wear it, and I'm just like, "Oh, like, what is the purpose?" Like, what are you trying to because a lot of here's the thing. When we're doing makeup is a very sexual kind of things. You put like a shine, like a purple shine or a blue shine over it, and it actually yeah, but a lot of these girls are not doing that. That's the thing. They're not putting it's just like black, like the black lips. And the thing is, makeup is a reflection, like when women do that, like the eyes are for, like when you see women, who really do their eyes up beautifully, it's very alluring, like, right? Your mouth has a whole different meaning of allure of what it actually means, like the red lips, the lusciousness of what the lips are portraying, which are other lips that women have. That's how I'm going to put it. But I know people are like, Mary, I thought we are going to talk about other things, but we're talking about lips. But when you're putting the black, like, what is that? See, I go into the sort of kind of like the crazy psychology and the meaning of why they're doing it. Like, what are they hiding from? Like, what is that or what is that piece? Because, I'm getting into the black lips, like, very scorpionic, like the dark side of Scorpio. And Scorpio's into the sex thing. Can't say things too loud on YouTube, that thing that people do together kind of stuff. Um, it comes into that taboo area, right? The taboo area. So it's very interesting. Even when I look at people doing facial tattoos or facial piercings, and because they're very, very symbolic, right? Tattoos are very symbolic. Some people's tattoos I just love. Virginia just got tattooed. She just got tattooed, but it looks like beadwork. It's just like every time I see her, I'm touching her arm. because I think it's like a sexual beadwork. I just need to touch your arm, but it's so beautiful, and the colors and everything are like she's got the yellow and the oranges, and absolutely beautiful, beautiful tattoo she got. So, I mean, some tattoos that I see are just so beautiful and symbolic. Other tattoos that people get, you're just like, okay, you were drunk. But the symbology of it, and even with piercing, like a lot of people don't realize the piercings, and when you're getting piercings onto your face, of what the points are, and even your belly button. And these are like pressure points and acupuncture points, and points that are leading to other meridians within the body. And how symbolic those are to especially women. When you see, because there's different pressure points in your ear, right? And you see all those, when people get all of the piercings within the ear, right? My earlobes are extremely, I got like extremely tiny earlobes. Like like I get one piercing in my ear was like enough, but I can't, unless I'm wearing hyperallergenic 100, pure gold kind of, um, that's why I don't have earrings. That's why I don't wear earrings, 'cause my ears get very, um, they're very sensitive. But, like, you got the different pressure points, right? So when you go if you touch your ears and you sort of start massaging your ears, they're the same points that are in, when you're doing reflexology, right? So when you're doing the different piercings on your face, they have a symbolism of the different pressure points within your body. So when you're doing like the different points that girls do, or they're doing their tongue or different things like that, the symbology goes way deeper than, "Ooh, I just want it because it's trendy." There's a way deeper symbolism. Even when people put the septum right here, it's the symbolism of what that actually means. And every time I see, especially when I see a woman with it, I just like, "Oh, girl." It can look very cool. I get it. But the symbolism of I want to be this is like, because you put that in a bowl, right? And why do you put it in a bowl? It's so you can lead the bowl. So you can take the bowl. Because that's one place, because as soon as their nose is pulled, they're gonna go. So this is about being led, right? Where you got the different piercings on the nose, there's different, on the, where it is, and the symbolism of that. It's very East Indian. And even when you're getting the different points in your eyebrows and stuff, and where that leads to within your body. And same with around your belly button. Belly button, especially right above the belly button, where you get if you get, pierced above the belly button, a lot of girls find that either their body will reject it, which happens quite often, and then they go get it re-pierced, or it screws, because that's a huge meridian that leads down to your menstrual cycle, and it can really mess up your menstrual cycle, and getting your belly button pierced. Crazy, crazy. It's just our bodies are just miraculous, beautiful, energies, right? And there's so much about our bodies that we really don't know, or don't understand, or don't embrace, right? And that's the craziness, because we do so much to our bodies, women, we do a hell of a lot to our bodies. We're either too fat, well, too skinny, or we don't like this, we don't like that. And we try all these crazy things that try to make us conform or look or be, Ozempic is a huge one that a lot of women are using right now, which really, it's kind of scares the hell out of me. When I see women using, because there's different fad diets, like the cabbage diet, or, you know, a lot of people are going on the keto diet, and some, the keto diet, like any diet for some people does fabulous and really helps their metabolism, and helps them to lose weight and get. But the thing is that finding, and this, I am getting into the moon. There's a reason for why I do the things I do, but this is getting you back into an alignment of of who you are and not going outside yourself. And that's where this moon is. She said, she's talking about listening. Now she's on the moon. How did we get here? It is that symbolism of connection of who we are. Now we are in the last stages of, I'm going to say, the age of Pisces. And like, I haven't used this is the Aquarius age, very much before, but this is where, especially where Pluto is, and the symbolism of Pluto at the last degrees of Capricorn. We are now at a lunar Pisces eclipse, right? A lunar eclipse here, where when Pluto entered Capricorn, we were at a Virgo eclipse, right? And that's where we were. So we entered in with a lunar eclipse in Virgo, and we're ending in a lunar eclipse in Pisces. Like, the symbolism, the power of what the planets are trying to show us and connect us with is absolutely just beautiful. Like, when people say, the stargazers, when our ancients used to watch the stars and see, oh, look at this one doesn't move, or look at this star over here is moving, but it's only moving so many degrees, and they, and started to really map it out, and started to really realize, oh my goodness, God is giving us a message. God is showing us something in the stars. There is these movements that are happening that are correlating with how we as human beings are relating to the earth. And it's not only the human beings, animals too, right? The plants, how that symbolizes with the growth, the spring and the springtime and the fall, the autumn, how that symbolism has within our life, the new growth to the death, right? And then going into the winter, into the darkness, into the deepness. So we have this beautiful dance that is happening at this time. And this moon is so intense. This moon is just so symbolic right now. And it's this, this is where for the next 18 months, getting used to working with the 6th and the 12th house. So in your chart, look where the 6th house is, what's in your 6th house, and what is your 12th house, and what is that within your 12th house. So over the next, because that's where the nodes are going to be over the next 18 months. And this is where, where we're going to be looking at a lot within ourselves. And this is the work that is coming in for us to work on ourselves, and not to spiritually bypass it. It's like the thought I get is like, oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I want to get into shape. Yeah, I know how to get into shape. I know how to do this, right? No more 12th house in my life. Sorry, it's going to be there, sweetie. She's like, this is where this symbolism comes forth, right? And I just lost my train of thought, but this is where when we start looking at spiritual bypassing, how do we spiritual bypass? So the diet, and we know about the diet, but then we're like, but it's we tell ourselves, yeah, we're going to go on a diet, but it's okay for me to have 2 pieces of chocolate cake, or it's okay for me to, oh, you know what, I will just have something else. And yeah, I know about my diet, and I can do my diet. Or even somebody who's a drug addict who says, yeah, I know I'm going to get clean. I want to get clean, but I just need a couple more hits, right? That's a spiritual bypassing. So however that looks like, I'm showing you extremes of it, right? But however that looks like in your life of those spiritual bypassing, this is really a time of work of self. How am I working within myself, so I'm able to shine my light more glowingly, more lovingly, more fluently within myself. And this moon, as we're in this last phase ever of an eclipse in Pisces with Pluto, right? In Capricorn, how that is a reflection of how I'm going to be entering into my spiritual growth. And what is that spiritual place? Because the 12th house is the spiritual place. 12th house also brings in a lot of delusions. The 6th house is how am I, it's the Virgo house, right? So it's how am I organizing this? How am I being of service to others and to myself, but being of service in truth, not being in service because it's a good thing and it looks good on my resume, but being of service of just, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I need to be of service this way. And in being of service in this way, I'm able to help to take care of myself, because the one thing about the 6th house also is health. It has to do with health. So we're going to be seeing and we're going to be witnessing a lot to do with health. How am I taking care of myself in a positive way? In a positive way. Not taking care of my, not doing a health kick because it's going to be the quick fix that is going to make me lose the weight I need to lose. I'm going to take that Ozempic pen and shove it into my chubby wubby little tummy, and it's going to dissolve it. But how am I going? This is about how am I maintaining the truth of who I am? How am I coming into that truth? And this could be, especially with all the dancing of the outer planets right now with Neptune and Uranus. And, this is where, especially where Pluto is and where Saturn is. Saturn, is a dispositor, meaning that he's the ruler of Capricorn. And Pluto's there. So he's looking over and it's like, hey, you're in my house. This is the last hurrah for you in my house. This is the last of what you're doing. I mean, we just saw, this is what, Pluto brings in is trying to rid something that you think shouldn't be, but you need it. So for the things that have just happened in the world recently in the last couple of days, and people are thinking, well, it's we want to get rid of that person because, or thinking because he's no good or she's no good. And so you have an attempt, right? Instagram keeps freezing for me. So this is where it's like this spiritual escaping, right? And shedding. This is shedding. And uh, this is where you have to own it, owning the truth of who you are, owning the truth of that being. And Mars is not really giving you any oomph right now. Mars is in Cancer. Mars in Cancer is it's in detriment. It can't move the way it wants to. It can't do what it needs to do. There's a lot of emotion. Plus, it's what we call it's out of bounds. So it's 23 degrees before 23 degrees below the ecliptic right now. So it's not in bounds. So it's not really giving you a full thrust of energies that you want to go. And it's slowing down to go retrograde. And so we have this, and it's going to go retrograde, I believe in December. Yeah, because it goes retrograde when it's in an opposition to Cancer. So when it's in the opposition, it'll be in Capricorn. So I have to do these things in my head sometimes. But sometimes we need to let shit happen and not try and control everything. And that's a scary piece, allowing things to happen and not reacting right away, not reacting for about 2 to 3 days. So giving yourself some space, because this full moon, you're going to be seeing it. I mean, it's in the news right now. The moon is going to be full for the next 3 days. And it is like, we're going to have the moon is active like right now, 2 days before and 2 days after. And, as little, little witches out there We all knew this. We all understand that. We all understand how the frequencies come through for us, and working with these, of what you are wanting to release, let go of, what are you wanting to create. And sometimes you have to let it go. And things are going to be weird. Like, the world's just going to be weird. Things are going to be feeling weird. Things are going to be feeling a little bit wonky. And you're like, well, okay, they kind of been wonky, mama, since 2019 at least. But I'm talking about real wonky, because we're coming to the end of Pisces. We're coming to the end of a cycle, a 2,000-year-old cycle. Like, not a cycle that is like, oh, a year. I've been doing this for a year. Now we're at the end. No, this is 2,000-year cycle that we are ending, and we're entering into the new one. We're entering into the Aquarius. We're entering into the age of air. So we're coming out. So this is very intellectual. This is very, receiving information. This is scientific. This is new discoveries. That's why AI is such a huge thing, right? And the push for AI. So we're going to be seeing changes and developments when it comes to, you know, um, new ideas, people implanting shit. This is a time when it comes to robotics, and when it comes to people doing crazy shit to their bodies, we're going to be seeing it left, right, and center. I mean, people are already implanting chips so that they can just scan their wrist or their hand to pay for something, which is totally, to me, it's nutters. The other thing is mental health. So we're going to be finding a new, um like, issues when it comes to mental health. So mental health issues, because we're doing with the mind, the intellect, the Virgo mind. God bless Virgos. And I love Virgos, I really do. But that Virgo mind of wanting to have things done in a certain order at a certain time. Mateus, go see what just happened, please. Oh, it's Papa. Oh, I thought it was the cat. So this could be, where people are trying to find something outside themselves a lot, especially when it comes to relationships. With this is where, if you're going into a relationship, this is about long term, um working at it. This isn't to jump into a relationship because he's a cutie patootie, hot pant kind of guy. Or, this is where it's like, okay, I need to look at how am I working, and why am I wanting to go into a relationship? What are the reasonings? And then we have to take, again, that deep dive within ourselves of what it is and what that connection is. So this is about our spiritual health, and not to just jump and jumping ship because, oh, this person keeps pissing me off, or this thing keeps pissing me off, instead of coming into a place of forgiveness and understanding. And Mateus, turn it down. Coming into a place where we can come into connection, right? And looking into that place of connection. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be feeling like we're sliding down the side of the mountain right now, just sliding down that mountain. It's going to be feeling like, a big drop. So we're coming in, we're this is all a lot to do with spiritual health, the connections, how we are connecting within our own souls, right? And bringing forth that connection. And I know for myself, things really hit me quite a long ways away. And that I know these changes are coming in, and why the changes are coming in, because life has been out of balance for people. I was talking to one of the coworkers, and she was saying that a lot of her friends are atheists now, and she's like, I think 19, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's, to me, that's scary. That's scary, that there's a belief that there's nothing else. That's it, right? There's only me. And that belief that there's only, I this is it. it's where there's no connection, or they feel it's a false connection where they haven't had a some sort of spiritual foundation for them. They haven't found where an understanding of what meditation and prayer can do in their lives. And to me, when you see a whole generation that is feeling that way, that is where it's like, wow, when we're coming into an age of Aquarius where it's very mental, and where you're going to get a lot of people with the fear of missing out, with the fear of lack, or you have to look this way to be in the know, but yet try and be extraordinary at the same time, and not and missing that connection that you need with your heart, and you need with the world around you. And that's the key point, and that's where we're at. you know it's excuses, and sitting in a good space, opening our heart and our soul, and allowing ourselves to open, and space boundaries, coming to a true understanding. And what is triggering you? What are those triggers? Just being like, I've been in the mall for about a week now, and it's amazing what I've been witnessing in just that week. How, because it's been a while since I've worked in a mall, seeing the dynamics and changes of who is in the mall. And I'm just like, whoa, this is like weird, man. This is really weird. And the people, just um the diversity of of the people that are there. That when I worked in the mall, even, well, I could go back 20 years and go back 10 years of being in a mall, that it just the diversity and the changes that are there, and the amount of men to women in the mall is quite, I find it quite unique, because I've never seen so many men in a mall. Like, because men usually don't go to malls. Like, this is not their thing. Like, but wandering around the mall, walking in groups. So it's very, although, I get very suspicious when I see things like that, but I find it very interesting, very interesting. Um, with all of the diversity of what's coming forward, right? So this is, coming in spiritually, it's coming into a place where a foundation that is needed for all of us, a foundation of the divine, a foundation of understanding. Oh my goodness, whatever is going on up above certainly is affecting us down below, and having that connection and what that is, and really watching our own judgment of ourselves and our criticism of ourselves, and having patience. Whew, patience is the key. I should have that, just like, I had a roommate one time, and she said, Mary, I'm going to paint above your bed patience. So when you wake up and you look at the ceiling, your eyes open, you see that. Have patience today. That's true. Have patience, because it's, the anxiety, is coming out, right? And what that anxiety um, feels like and looks like. So let's pull a couple cards here. Moon readings should be out for everybody. So the full moon readings are all out. So thank you for those who ordered moon readings. And so you should have received them in your inbox. If you did not receive your moon reading, please let me know, because I'm pretty sure I did them all. But this is also where patience is truly virtue. It is a virtue. Virtue sometimes that goes missing in my life. The other piece is that because of the situations within the world right now, to really understand, and this was a big one for me, that just because I'm working is not, it's like it's not something to be shameful of, or not, and it's not an extension of who I am. It's something that is a means to an end, something that needs it's utilized, something that's going to help me to create my abundance, to create the needs that I need in order for us to survive, to pay the bills, to be able to do, whatever else I want, need to be doing at this time. But sometimes we get very hung up on these things. I know I do. On, what, no, I'm supposed to be, because I've worked so long and so hard at my, being the guru mama, being, that persona, and having my business and everything else. And then coming to a place where you have to really an understanding of, like, no, this is what needs to be done. So whatever you need to do in order for yourself to survive, in order for yourself to grow. And even if you are having mental issues, like if you are feeling depressed, if you're feeling low, if you're getting the brain fog, a lot of times it's like, well, no, I'm the one who keeps the family together. I'm the intellectual one. I can't be low. I can't be depressed. I can't be this. I can't be that. So many things that we tell ourselves we can't be. But in coming in and embracing and saying, yeah, I am having problems mentally. I am having problems, exhaustion or tiredness, or whatever it is that you're going through, to really look at that and sort of own it and say, okay, maybe this is where I actually need to take a time out. I need to take a time out, and I need to work right now. I need to take, I need to be able to talk to somebody other than who's in my personal group, or within my community, somebody outside my community, in order for me to bring in the more harmony that I need, especially for myself mentally. And those are big things. They're big, where you can get yourself into kind of those little mind fucks, as I call them, that really hold you back from really allowing yourself to be the true person that you need to be. But you hold yourself back because of ego. That lovely ego holds you back because of ideas or thoughts, or you're feeling you might be letting other people down. So yeah, in comes the Knight of Wands. Man, he's passionate. He wants to bring forth the goodness and the beauty and the lusciousness and the scrumptiousness of life. But we can get hung up where it's like, oh, I can't have too much lusciousness. I can't have too much of this. Or if I allow somebody to see that I am a belly dancer, or I'm or a singer, or whatever it is, I'm allowing myself to be that extension of me that I want to step into, but I'm afraid. I don't want to do it. So I belittle myself. So this is all stepping into that truth of that spirituality, of allowing yourself to step forward into it. A lot of times people, because of fear, or you don't want people to think, oh, I don't want people, where I'm on day 201 of taking Bible study. And it's like, what? Oh, you're becoming religious, and you get like, oh, I don't want to tell anybody I'm doing that. That fear. A lot of times people have that fear. Or saying the rosary. It's like, oh, I don't want to tell anybody I'm doing that because, but these are all part of my spiritual growth, my connection of the divine, of the holiness, and stepping into that beautiful extension and that beautiful power that's there. Because in understanding that power and the dance that is happening around us, we're able to join in. We're able to create and come into that passion. And stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. Our doubts, our worries, our anxiousness are there. If we need to step out, if we need to reach out, do it. Book an appointment, right? Allow yourself to step into that beautiful extension, that beautiful power that's there, so that you are able to be that beautiful, loving, scrumptious, gorgeous person you are. It reflects in patience, doesn't it? It so does. It so does. But you know what? It's that air sign, that air quality that comes in, right? With the age of an Aquarius. So being aware of that and understanding, where do I need to step back? Where do I need to allow for myself to shine? Not only for myself, but for those around me. But first, I got to shine for myself, right? I can't forget about me. And that's not being selfish. That's just allowing yourself, oh, I need to take this time. And it's okay to take some time away. It's okay to take some time to restructure what it is that you need to restructure. It's like finding out that, it's like finding out, let's say you oh my God, I'm diabetic or whatever. And you're like, I'll never have chocolate cake again, or whatever that fear is. I mean, because it's like a lot of times when you have to change something, especially, a diet or change the way that your body moves, right? It's a whole thing. Ten of Swords is a call to end something in perfect ways. Yeah, the Ten of Swords. And I like the Ten of Swords. It's the Nine of Swords that gets you up in the middle of the night. And then, oh, what are you, psychic or something, girl from Florida? It's the Ten of Swords. Ah! So it's ending. So there's ending of something. So we're all coming to a place of ending. We're all, especially with that Pluto in Capricorn, it's all coming to a place of ending. It's in a common, where we're accumulation of everything from the last 16 years of Pluto, of saying, oh my God, I should have done this. I could have done this. Why wasn't I better at that? Why wasn't I better at this? Right. But here it is. Here it is. It's like saying, you know what? This is where I need to go, and this is what I need to do. Whew! Power of this moon is tremendous. So be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. And may the Lord and Lady watch over each and every one of you. And thank you so much for being a part of my community and coming forth and being here today. Thank you. So have a blessed one. I got to go catch a bus and get to work. So comment below. Let me know how you're thinking, how you're feeling with this moon and all the transformations that are coming forth. Have a blessed one, everybody. Bye-bye. See you guys later. Have a good one, everyone. Be kind.